Okay, so get this. Today, we're diving deep into agent AI.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's not just about, AI making those cool images we see everywhere online or writing poems.
Right.
This is AI that can actually, operate out there in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah, think video games, robots, even. We're using this research paper as our guide, Agent AI, Surveying the Horizons of Multimodal Interaction.
Catchy title.
It is, right. So to start off, how is this different from the AI that I guess most people are already familiar with?
Well, think of it this way. Right now, AI that we use is mostly like having a ton of different specialized apps on your phone.
Okay, yeah.
And they all do their own like specific thing really well, but they don't actually talk to each other.
Right.
Agent AI is kind of aiming to be more like a fully integrated operating system,
Makes sense.
processing all sorts of input all at once to figure out what's going on.
So it's almost like taking those individual AI skills and weaving them together into something much bigger and more complex.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And, the paper uses this term, Aristotelian holism, which sounds very fancy.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
But the idea is super fascinating.
It is. So, for instance, try to picture an AI that's helping a robot navigate a busy city street.
Okay, yeah,
It's not just seeing people and cars, right? It's also understanding the context of everything around it.
I see.
Traffic lights, crosswalks, even social cues,
Wow.
all while following like instructions that are just given in plain language.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of this multimodal interaction thing.
Right.
It's not just seeing or hearing, it's like actually making sense of all of that sensory data all at once.
Yeah.
And what's exciting is we're already seeing this in action. There are AI models now that can guide robots through some pretty complex tasks, like even assembling furniture based only on spoken instructions.
It's true.
Wait, really? So you could just be like, "Hey robot, build me a chair," and it would just do it.
Well, in research settings, we are getting pretty close to that. But really what is impressive is the AI's ability to break down that complex instruction into all the individual steps,
Yeah.
like finding the right parts, understanding how they fit together, even adapting to like unexpected situations.
That's amazing. But doesn't this raise some, red flags too?
Yes.
Like, what if the AI gets things wrong? The paper even mentions these hallucinations, which, I don't know, sounds kind of creepy.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a major challenge. Like imagine a self-driving car hallucinating a stop sign that isn't there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that could be disastrous.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I mean, how can we actually trust AI to be making decisions in the real world if it's prone to these kinds of errors?
Right. So researchers are actually exploring several different approaches to try and tackle this.
Okay.
One method that's pretty promising is called retrieval augmented generation.
Okay.
It's sort of like giving the AI a fact checker.
I like that.
So it can basically cross-reference its outputs with external information to, try and weed out the inaccuracies.
So it's like teaching the AI to double check its work.
Pretty much, yeah. But, there are other approaches too.
Oh, okay.
Some researchers are focusing more on something called knowledge grounding, which is really about connecting the AI's understanding of language to actual real-world concepts and relationships.
So instead of just manipulating words, it's actually understanding their meaning, like in a physical context.
Yes, exactly.
That sounds really crucial for tasks like robotics and navigation, especially.
Absolutely. And, what's really interesting is that some of this research is building on ideas that have actually been around for decades.
Oh, wow.
The paper actually mentions this thing called a copy demo from way back in the 1970s,
Okay.
which was, an early attempt to create an AI that could actually understand instructions and manipulate objects
Interesting.
in a simulated environment.
So these seeds for agent AI were planted a long time ago.
Yeah. But it's the recent, explosion in data and computing power that's really allowed these ideas to kind of flourish now.
That makes sense. Okay, so we've got AI that, has a sense of self, operating in the real world. It's mind-boggling.
It is.
But I have to ask, how do we make sure that this technology benefits everyone
Right.
and doesn't end up causing, more problems than it solves? The paper mentioned something about data privacy being like a really big deal.
Yeah. Data privacy is absolutely critical with all of this.
For sure.
We have to be extremely careful about what data these agents are collecting, how it's stored, and who has access to it.
Yeah.
It's about finding that right balance between, innovation and responsibility.
Transparency is key here.
Absolutely.
Like people need to actually know how their data is being used and have some control over their own privacy.
Definitely. And that's just one of the many ethical considerations
Yeah.
that, we really need to be thinking about as agent AI evolves.
For sure. Okay, so we've got AI operating in the real world, making decisions, collecting data. And I mean, this is starting to sound like a sci-fi movie.
A little bit, yeah.
Let's get into some specific examples of what agent AI can actually do. The research categorizes these AI agents in different ways based on their applications. Where do we even start with this?
Well, a good place to start would be embodied agents. These are AI systems that actually have a physical presence in the world.
Okay.
Think robots.
Okay, that makes sense. So we're not just talking about like AI living inside of a computer.
No.
We're talking about AI that can like move around and interact with the actual physical environment.
Yeah, precisely. And this opens up a whole world of possibilities.
Yeah.
Like imagine robots that can assist with search and rescue operations in disaster zones,
Oh, wow.
or explore the depths of the ocean, or even build structures on other planets.
Hold on. AI-powered robots building colonies on Mars. That's next level stuff. What else is on the list?
Well, there are also action agents. These are specifically designed to perform certain actions within an environment. They're already being used in video games to actually control non-player characters, making them more realistic and unpredictable. And in the real world, they're being used to guide robots in doing complex tasks.
So these action agents are basically the brains behind the operation, figuring out how to best achieve a goal. It's like having a tiny AI strategist inside each robot.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, cool. And then there are simulation and environment agents. Those are the ones used in virtual worlds to like learn and refine their behavior.
Exactly.
So it's like a training ground for AI where they can experiment and learn without any real-world consequences.
Yeah, think of it as like a safe space for the AI to make mistakes and learn from them.
This is all so fascinating, but I do have a question. How do we make sure that these AI agents can actually function in the real world?
Yeah.
After they've been trained in these like virtual sandboxes, the real world is messy and unpredictable.
Right. And that brings us to what's called the sim to real challenge.
Sim to real. So it's about making sure that the skills learned in the simulation can actually transfer over to the real deal.
Precisely. It's a major hurdle for researchers, but they are working on, ways to bridge that gap
Okay.
by improving the realism of the simulations and developing new techniques to help these AI agents adapt to real-world conditions.
So it's almost like giving these AI agents a crash course in dealing with the unexpected.
Yeah, pretty much.
What else is there? This agent world seems huge.
It is. And there's also something called generative agents. These AI systems can actually create and modify virtual environments.
Hold on. AI that can design and build virtual worlds? Is that even possible?
It is. It's happening.
Wow.
Imagine AI that can generate really realistic environments for training simulations, or even, create entire video game levels based on player preferences.
Wow. That's incredible. It's like giving AI the power of imagination and creation.
Right. And then we have agents for emotional reasoning.
Okay, that one really piqued my interest. Tell me more about these emotion-sensing AI agents.
Yeah. Well, the goal with these is to develop AI that can not only recognize what we say, but also, like, how we feel,
Wow.
leading to more empathetic and engaging interactions. Think of chatbots that can, like, sense when you're frustrated
Okay, yeah.
and adjust their tone accordingly.
Mm,
Or virtual assistants that can personalize their responses based on your mood.
that would be a game changer. Imagine AI that could actually truly understand and respond to our feelings. It's like
Yeah.
blurring the lines between human and machine interaction.
It is, yeah.
So how are they doing this?
Well, researchers are exploring a ton of different techniques,
Okay.
including using specialized data sets like the NICE data set, which stands for Neural Image Commenting with Empathy.
Okay.
And this data set is actually used to train AI to generate comments for images that capture not only the content of the image, but also the emotions that the image conveys.
So they're teaching AI to be more emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, essentially. But, of course, there's a lot more research that still needs to be done in this area.
For sure. It's a rapidly evolving field.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. We've learned about different types of AI agents and how they're being used in everything from, robotics to emotional reasoning.
Right.
It's clear that agent AI is poised to revolutionize the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. But there's still so much to explore.
Yeah,
What's
definitely.
coming up next?
Well, in the next part, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into the specific applications of agent AI.
Okay, cool.
We'll see how it's being used to create um, more realistic and engaging video games,
Sounds good.
revolutionize the field of robotics, and even transform healthcare as we know it.
Sounds like we're just getting started.
We are.
We'll be right back.
So welcome back. I'm actually really excited to dive into some of the practical applications of agent AI.
Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like we only just scratched the surface. Let's start with gaming, I guess. This research paper mentioned that agent AI is already, changing the game, literally.
Yeah, it really is. One of the most immediate impacts is on, those non-player characters, the NPCs.
Right, right.
So instead of being, limited by those pre-programmed scripts,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
AI-powered NPCs can actually learn and adapt to player actions,
Okay.
which makes the game world feel way more dynamic and interesting.
So it's like you're actually playing against, a real opponent
Yeah,
who's constantly learning and evolving their strategies.
exactly.
That would definitely make things more challenging and exciting.
For sure. And an agent AI isn't just, limited to individual characters.
Right.
It can actually be used to generate entire game levels based on player preferences.
Oh, wow.
Or even create new gameplay mechanics that respond to player actions in real time.
Whoa, so the game could actually evolve and change as you play it.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
It is.
Are there any examples of this in action?
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
The research highlights the use of GPT-4V, which is
Mhm.
the technology behind ChatGPT,
Okay,
but with visual capabilities.
interesting.
They're using this for generating high-level action predictions in games like Minecraft.
Okay.
So it can actually understand and respond to the visual cues within the game environment,
Wow.
guiding characters to perform complex tasks.
It's like having an AI teammate
Yeah,
that can not only understand your instructions, but also interpret the game world and make strategic decisions.
right.
I mean, the possibilities for gameplay are endless.
They really are, and this is really just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, wow.
As agent AI technology keeps advancing, we can expect even more immersive and engaging gaming experiences.
That's so cool. This is all very cool. But what about the real world?
Right.
What impact is agent AI having outside of the gaming world?
Well, robotics is another area where agent AI is making a really significant impact.
Okay.
One of the key challenges in robotics has always been enabling robots to understand complex instructions,
Right.
learn new skills,
Mhm.
and adapt to changing environments. Agent AI is changing that.
So instead of being limited to performing, just those repetitive tasks in controlled environments, robots could become much more versatile and adaptable.
Yeah, exactly. Researchers are already using models like ChatGPT for, robot task planning,
Okay.
combined with human demonstrations to actually teach robots how to perform specific actions effectively.
So it's like apprenticeships for robots.
Yeah, kind of.
They can learn by watching and listening to humans.
In a way, yes.
That's really cool. Now, speaking of healthcare, how is agent AI being applied in that field?
Well, agent AI has the potential to revolutionize many aspects of healthcare.
Yeah.
One area of focus right now is on assisting with, patient care activities.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine AI agents that can, monitor patient vital signs,
Right.
manage medication schedules, and even provide some basic care,
Wow.
which would free up, human healthcare workers to focus on more complex tasks.
Yeah, that would be a huge help, especially given the current shortage of healthcare professionals.
Yeah, definitely. And agent AI is also being used to analyze medical images and videos,
Okay.
providing insights that might not be immediately apparent to, to human doctors.
Interesting.
For example, visual language models are being used to identify patient care activities in clinical spaces
Okay.
and analyze, technical videos like ultrasounds.
Wow, so AI could help doctors make more informed decisions and potentially lead to earlier diagnoses and more effective treatments.
Yes, absolutely.
That's amazing.
It is. But as with any, powerful technology, there are also limitations and potential risks that need to be, carefully considered.
Of course. Yeah.
The research paper does note that current AI models are still, pretty limited in their ability to actually provide medical diagnoses because of, safety training.
Right.
It's a complex issue that researchers are still, working to address.
It makes sense that we need to be extremely cautious when it comes to AI making y- decisions that could impact people's health and well-being.
Absolutely.
What about other areas where agent AI is making a difference?
Well, beyond the fields that we've already discussed, agent AI is also being explored in areas like transportation, education, finance, and even environmental conservation.
It sounds like agent AI is poised to touch like almost every aspect of our lives.
It really does.
Can you give me some specific examples of what this might look like, in the future?
Sure. Um, in transportation, imagine AI agents, controlling self-driving cars,
Okay.
optimizing traffic flow, and even like managing entire transportation networks,
Wow.
leading to, safer and more efficient systems.
That would be a game changer for anyone who spends, hours stuck in traffic every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about education? How could agent AI transform the way we learn?
Well, imagine AI-powered tutors that
Mm.
can, you know, adapt to each student's individual needs and learning styles,
Oh, wow.
providing personalized lessons and targeted feedback.
Yeah,
This could help, level the playing field and ensure that everyone has access to quality education.
that would be huge for education. What about the world of finance? I imagine AI could be pretty useful in that field.
It already is.
Oh, okay.
Agent AI is being used to, analyze market trends, manage investments, and even detect fraudulent activities,
Yeah, wow.
leading to, more intelligent and secure financial systems.
So AI could help us make like smarter financial decisions and protect us from fraud.
Yeah.
That's pretty reassuring. What
Yeah.
about environmental conservation?
Well, AI agents could play like a really crucial role in monitoring ecosystems.
Okay.
Tracking wildlife populations and even predicting and mitigating environmental disasters. It's like having an army of AI conservationists working around the clock to protect our planet.
That's a really powerful image.
It is.
It sounds like agent AI has the potential to address some of the most pressing challenges facing our world today.
It really does.
But before we get too carried away with all the possibilities, let's revisit those research benchmarks you mentioned earlier.
All right.
How are researchers actually like testing and evaluating the capabilities of these AI agents?
Right. It's important to remember that agent AI is still a relatively, young field.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of research and development happening.
So how do we know if these AI agents are actually like up to the task?
Yeah.
How do we measure their intelligence and their abilities?
Right. Well, that's where those benchmarks come in.
Okay.
Remember we talked about Cuisine World and Video Analytica.
Yes, I'm curious to learn more about those.
Okay, well, Cuisine World it's like a virtual cooking show
Okay.
where multiple AI agents have to, actually work together to prepare meals.
Oh, interesting.
It's a fun and engaging way to test their ability to, communicate, coordinate, and solve problems in a collaborative setting.
So it's like a team building exercise for AI agents.
Exactly, yeah. And the challenges in Cuisine World are designed to be increasingly complex,
Oh, okay.
requiring the AI agents to actually understand instructions, adapt to unexpected situations, and even, learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
It's a great way to, like, really push the limits of their abilities and see how well they can, actually work together.
That's a very creative way to test their skills. What about video analytica?
Well, video analytica is all about evaluating an AI agent's ability to understand and interpret, video content,
Okay.
which, as we mentioned earlier, is way more complex than just processing text or images alone.
Right, because videos have so much more information.
Yeah.
Movement, sound, visual cues, changing contexts, all happening over time.
Exactly. It requires like a much deeper level of understanding.
For sure.
The tasks in video analytica include things like accurately retrieving information from, like instructional videos,
Right.
identifying actions at events, and even, spotting those hard negative hallucinations we discussed earlier.
Oh, right. Those tricky questions designed to kind of trip up the AI.
Yeah, exactly. And these benchmarks are really crucial for researchers to kind of track the progress of agent AI,
Yeah.
identify areas where, improvement is needed, and ultimately ensure that these AI agents are, reliable and effective in the real world.
This is all very impressive, but I have to admit it's a bit overwhelming to think about the implications of all this. I mean, we're talking about AI that can potentially design worlds,
Yeah,
control robots, and even understand our emotions. It feels like we're on the cusp of a major technological revolution.
we are. And it's important that we approach this revolution with both excitement and caution.
Yeah.
We need to ensure that this technology is developed and used responsibly and that it benefits all of humanity.
That's a crucial point. As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm left with a lingering question.
Okay.
How do we ensure that agent AI is used for good and doesn't lead to unintended consequences?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And it's something that researchers, policymakers, and society as a whole really need to be grappling with right now.
Yeah.
In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore some of the challenges and considerations surrounding, the responsible development and deployment of agent AI.
That's a perfect segue into our final part. We'll be right back after a short break to delve into the ethical implications of agent AI and discuss what the future might hold for this transformative technology.
We're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive on agent AI. It's been a pretty wild ride so far.
Yeah.
We've seen how this technology is pushing the boundaries
Yeah.
of what AI can do, from controlling robots to designing video games and even understanding human emotions.
It's true. It's a truly transformative field, and as we've talked about, it comes with a whole set of challenges and considerations,
Right.
especially when it comes to, responsible development and deployment.
Yeah, that's what I kind of want to focus on in this final part.
Mhm.
We've talked about the amazing potential of agent AI,
Right.
but what about the potential downside?
Sure.
What do we need to be careful about as this technology becomes more powerful and more pervasive?
Well, one of the key challenges is ensuring that agent AI systems are robust and reliable.
Yeah, we need to be confident that they're going to perform as intended,
Hmm.
even in those complex and unpredictable real world environments.
Right, right,
Remember the sim to real challenge we discussed.
right. Making sure that those AI agents that are trained in those virtual worlds can actually handle the messiness of reality.
Yeah.
That's a big one. But what about the ethical implications? How do
Sorry.
we make sure that agent AI is used for good and doesn't end up causing harm?
That's a crucial question, and it really touches on several key areas.
Yeah.
One is the potential for bias.
Oh, right.
We need to be very careful that the data that's used to train these AI agents doesn't reflect existing societal biases,
Of course.
which could lead to discriminatory outcomes.
So just like with any AI system, we need to be mindful of the data that's being used and make sure that it's diverse and representative to avoid, perpetuating harmful stereotypes.
Exactly. And then there's the question of accountability.
Okay.
As AI agents become more, autonomous and capable of making decisions,
Yeah.
it becomes more difficult to determine, who is responsible
Yeah.
if something goes wrong.
That's a tricky one.
It is.
If an AI agent makes a mistake, who's to blame? The developer, the user, the AI itself? I mean, these are complex questions
They are, yeah.
that we need to start addressing now.
We do. And then there's the issue of transparency.
Okay.
As AI agents become more sophisticated, their decision-making processes can become increasingly opaque.
Yeah.
It's important that we develop methods for understanding how these agents arrive at their conclusions,
Okay.
so that we can identify and correct any potential biases or errors.
So it's not just about building intelligent AI agents,
Right.
but also about building transparent and accountable AI agents,
Right.
ones that we can understand and trust.
Exactly. And finally, there's the broader societal impact of agent AI.
Yeah.
As these agents become more integrated into our lives, we need to consider the potential consequences
Mm.
for employment, privacy, and even human relationships.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
But it's crucial that we have these conversations now so
Yeah,
that
and
we can shape the future of agent AI in a way that benefits all of humanity.
I completely agree. This technology really has the potential to revolutionize so many aspects of our lives for the better.
Yeah.
But it's really up to us to ensure that it's used wisely and ethically.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
explored the incredible potential of agent AI as well as the challenges and considerations that come with it.
We have.
Any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap up?
I would encourage everyone to stay informed about, developments in agent AI.
Yeah,
This is a rapidly evolving field, and it's important to understand the potential impacts of this technology on our lives and society.
right.
Engage in these conversations, ask questions, and be a part of shaping the future of AI in a way that aligns with our values.
Well said. It's been a fascinating journey exploring the world of agent AI with you as our guide.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for sharing your expertise and insights.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and given you a glimpse into the exciting and transformative world of agent AI. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions. This is just the beginning of the agent AI revolution, and we can't wait to see what the future holds.